to be important. Yes, Astralis' chances of getting to the top 6 are rather absurd. Step 1 would be winning every single game that they continue to play, and that's of course not the easiest of steps to take, but they can start here versus G2. Now keep your eyes on G2 as well, 10 to 12.
Yep, so Astralis have to play, who do they play in the final game? I just had it out, was literally 1 second ago.
Well, I mean, it was more like 5, so actually not
5
literally.
games? What?
5
Astralis
seconds.
have to play G2 obviously now, and then Mousesport. So they have a rough finish to the season, and G2 on the other hand, they also have a rough end. They have to play Astralis now, and then their last match will be against VP.
So those 4 wins would put them at 15. Now consider this, they also have to rely on Envy losing games. They have to lose every single game.
Yep.
Navi, or they can, I think Envy can win 1. Navi have to lose like the majority of their games as well.
Yep.
And Virtus Pro have to have a really bad end to the season.
Okay, all which is somewhat possible considering the runs that these teams have. I think NIP has quite an easy run to the end of the season. Yeah. Fnatic has an easy run to the end of the season. Dig have to play G2? No, Dig have to play Envy, so that'll be an interesting match. There's so many good games still to come. It's crazy. Lots
to look forward to. And I know that, I mean, at this point in time, there's so much question marks surrounding Astralis. Like, what is the, like, I'm pretty sure I was having a quick look. I was, like, intrigued by this player's name. I was like, okay, let's have a look at No10 1dig. You click him.
Mr. Big 1dig.
I think he has 26 kills on HLTV. He
and
played
40,
1 game.
40 deaths, so his stats are worse than mine.
Hang on, wait, match history.
It's hard to do, get
so he has played,
than mine.
oh, this is crazy. He has played 2 games in competitive environment recorded by HLTV, and that's what I'm looking at here. And neither has been particularly outstanding. I mean, and he's got, what, let me have a look, 26 kills across 2 games, playing for Geek Unit and KON Denmark, both losses.
Yeah,
it's a crazy pickup.
I think what this matchup is going to be seeing with Astralis, we talked about it a lot, but it's the deep-seated doubt that this team has in constantly getting to a position of maybe semi-finals, quarterfinals, whatever, and choking and losing, or not even choking, just losing, right?
Yeah.
And that doubt just slowly you start to resent the leadership or like different parts of the team, and you're always going to blame somebody. You can only lose so many times. Kirby made a tweet like about losing, and you know eventually it's going to actually affect you, that you're not learning from the losses anymore, and that's true. I think once it gets to that point where you can't stand it and you don't feel like you can win and you have no confidence in your leader or in the system or you're running anything, you have to change it. And this change could be a good mental switch. I don't expect a lot from Astralis, because this, to me, picking up this player means that their choices are very limited, right? They can't pick a player in another top Danish team because of roster, stuff and contracts and all that kind of jazz. And I don't think they can take people from Premier either. I'm not 100% certain.
It's a very intriguing discussion to have. I think we'll actually continue it after the game does go down, because G2 are chomping at the bit to go ahead and bite into the Danes. Maybe it'll be a great day, and we'll see as it's time to go ahead and jump into our first iteration of Dust2. We've got 2 to look forward to. Over to your casters now, Henry G and Sadakist.
Wouldn't it be better if we played Dust1 and then Dust2?
That's what I was thinking.
And then like counted it up?
No, it's gonna be Dust2 twice.
So. I'm like bundled up in my winter sweater because like Alex, I'm also getting sick. My body doesn't even know how to get sick. It's so tired. So
I'm
this is gonna be like a prolonged
I'm not
thing.
sick physically. I'm just sick mentally. Like
well,
I'm done.
that.
Yeah, I'm pretty checked out at this point. But I'm still ready for this game. It should be very good. We get to see Mr. No10 1dig, Matt. I know someone you're a big fan of.
It is. Yeah, this was my idea to bring.
Yeah. Let's see what he can do here. Oh God.
He's done. He is done. Excuse me. I'm sat down for 2 seconds. He's already contagious.
It's all good. It's all good. So I think G2 should run away with this one. I don't even know who's calling for it now. I assume it's Zonic at this point. Obviously, Carrigan, the in-game leader, being benched at this point. I have no idea what's going to happen. Astralis, a very good Dust2 team overall, but let's see whether they can do anything about this. As we go into the first round, it's no Deagle. I was about to say, it's what Scream's been known for on Dust2 recently. They've been walking to be pretty much standard on a terrorist pistol here. They're going to be aggressive to device. He gets taken down by Scream, though. We said they'd be favored going into this one, considering what's going on here. No 10-1D. No one's ever heard of him before. It's crazy to think he's to pick up here. It's temporary. Though,
exactly. This is clearly a placeholder. The rumor is they want Glaive in place of Kerrigan, or at least that's what's flying around. We saw some tweets about it. We saw some Reddit posts about it. Lovely shot. All right, No10. Started off well, but it's very clearly just an asterisk beside his name until things settle. And if they can't get Glaive, maybe this motivates Kerrigan to come back. I'm not sure which is the alternative. But Zipic's inside of the site. He's gonna get dropped by Scream at Goose. That's gonna open us back to a 4 versus 3 now, as Zipix will fall to Scream as well as he drops back down in towards CT. It's No10 that's been covering off long, and a good pick by Dupree to get a little bit aggressive from CT, but he's gotta wait. No10's gotta be the one to find the information to hold off Scream and allow the rotations to come in. No contesting toward Catwalk right now from Astralis as well. A little bit of lag, but that's all right. Because there's going to be Scream that's going to try and hold this off. And without contesting Catwalk, bomb planted in that position, 2 versus 2 and no kits. They've got to come up large. And RPK taking down Dupree. It's onto the young lad. 16 years old, standing in. He's got to try and make a play. Baits it out with the tap on the bomb, but time's gone. And RPK's got the headshot to boot.
Well then, aggressive play from the CTZ towards short as Device to kick things off. Like I said, G2 have been known to just be walking to B with the Desert Eagle as well. Obviously, it's got to the point where we all know that's going to be a case, and this time they're doing more of a default at this point. They go towards long. Mr. One Big does find a kill, but unfortunately for him, G2 a little bit too strong. Pinching the A side, a short plunk comes in. The retake was decent, but a 2 versus 1 towards the end does fall in favor of the French. We're going to go to round number 2. A scout purchased by Device, not a full investment in terms of the force buy from the CTC. He's the only one really going for it, and he will actually be hunting towards middle as Smith's waiting to be flashing towards long. There's the flash, and one player towards the pit for the CTs. Could be interesting. It's Mr. One Dig, and he hits a PT50 headshot. Manages to stay alive as well with his team going. Oh, he does.
He does go down, yes.
My bad.
You are bad, but it's okay.
It's okay.
He's got 2 quick kills, at least in 2 rounds, so there's potential for the young man's aim. But it's Scream, again, who's showing off his force to be reckoned with in terms of headshots. I think that's his 3rd overall. G2 on Dust2 twice. Yeah, we say Astralis is good, but with a stand-in and you play this map twice, this is going to be one of the hardest challenges.
Certainly not in good form right now. They've
sure,
fallen,
but it's still Dust2 in a stand-in.
Exactly. On an online game as well, I think there's no real pressure for G2. Obviously, it's going to take closing sectors of Pro League, but in an online game with Dust2, you feel like the class from G2 will prevail, and it's going to be 2-0 here. One Dig does get 1 kill. Not seeing him get the 1 Dig yet. That's what I'm waiting for, Matt.
It would be ironic if he just never used the Deagle.
Yeah, literally never bought it.
Yeah, it'd be better if he had the R8 equipped.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in a while. There were a few guys actually bringing that up.
There was.
Like, who was there? It was Snacks did it every now and then.
There's
someone from Hellraisers who was doing it.
There's about 2 angles.
I think it was
in the entire game.
Shower actually was buying it at one point.
I can't remember.
I think it was.
Yeah.
Him. Well, it was Flipside he's on, of course. So yeah, I think it was Shower from Flipside who was doing that. But no one ever got a kill with it.
No, there's only like 2 angles in the entire game I can think of it being relevant. One of them, oddly enough, is this corner at long. Because if you pre-bolt it and aim the doors, they're usually there at the same time. But again, G2 is going to start off well against, well, the full saving CT. PT50 bought up for Dupree, but no armor, no investment in terms of utility because they want to get the guns out in a strong force they can. Smith's through the edge of the box, going to find the shot onto Dupree. And Smith is always on Dust2. I know he gets a lot of flack, but Dust2 is his playground.
Well, good news for the CDs is they didn't fully invest in that second round, so they get a decent buy going forward. They're a Device with the AWP and armor. They got some nades to work with as well, a couple of kits. Didn't want to full invest in that round. I want to make sure they actually have something to work with here on the first go round. We said it was a bit of a question mark for the AWP of Astralis. It always has been, I think. And obviously, switch between Device and Carrigan. Looks like now it has to be Device. There's not really much of a choice. I'm not sure if One Dig is an AWPer. I would speculate he's not. And we'll see what happens in the first go round here. He'll be making his way towards pit. Zipek's backing him up. This is the first showing. This was announced today. It's kind of nuts. This is going down. Let's see whether he can hold his first frag, getting some attention from Shoxa towards the pit area.
Flash comes over. All just to foil the plans of Zipex, but no one's going to contest it. It's going to be onto Catwalk instead. Device. This is one of the other problems for Astralis that's easily identified by most pundits. Yourself, most of the other guys on the desk, there's a huge AWP problem. They used to be very dynamic with Cajun B on the team. Device, he'd pick it up on the T side AWP, but now they're lacking the consistency in AWP. So if they're going to switch out Kerrigan, that's fine, but they're still going to need Device to step it up on this weapon still. Zipek's going to go back to the pistol, has to hold off this angle as he's running out of ammo. But it was awkward for Body inside of the smoke, and as such, he does go down, but it shocks Smith to follow it up, and a good shot from Scream again. As Zipex will get taken down on top of ramp. And No Tam was waiting at long. He anchors the position well for the retake, but now he's got to do it all by himself. 1 versus 3. Quick tag onto Smiths, but he can't overcommit to the peak because as soon as he does, he'll be confronted by not 1, but 2. Down towards CT and quad.
Well then, G2, so far so good. First go around default to kick things off. We know they've got a very strong A execution as well. It does get a bit interesting there. Device fully flashed, comes back and finds 1 kill. Zipex finds one of the USP as well, but ultimately it's G2 getting the lion's share of the frags, and One Dig is towards the pit, holding that area, trying to protect his teammates from that pincer, but left in a horrible position. 3 versus 1 against G2. And we'll see what happens in round number 5. They've got some Desert Eagles to work with, but it should be a 5-0, unless someone goes absolutely nuts. This time, no time One Dig has got a deagle. And he's dead now, of course.
Well, all for naught. Device, though, speaking of Deagle. Nice shot onto Shocks. Kirby's here with him. Hasn't peeked yet either. Flames won't quite reach. Oh, him, but he's spotted over top of it. Tried to get clever and allow them to walk further into the site, but unfortunately, for him at least, it's Scream to get the shot body to follow it up. Zipek's down bomb going to be planted, and Device on an AWP is going to try and save. Now, they know this AWP is over toward the A site.
Yeah, there was Shocks by himself towards long. Is that where the kill went down? I'm trying to find. Yeah, he was at the long doors. He tried to face by himself and just hold for rotations. Obviously, when he's showing heavy presence towards B, any players in pit will rotate over, and we'll see where this all can survive at this point. Oh, did he mean to?
Scope, I'm not sure, but it cost him. He does get body, but that's all. And RPK was 2 HP. It would have been nice for the reinvestment, but double AWP now for the T side.
Yep, maximum loss money for Astralis can rebuy into this round 5-0. We did say they're going to struggle against a team like G2 on your maiden showing of this new lineup. I guess, look, it's not even a full lineup, right? This is just what they work out the plans going forward. I think that's a weird decision to bring in a completely unheard of player while you're trying to work things out. But I guess at this point, it allows Zonic to build the team he wants to. He doesn't have Carrigan trying to influence the game he wants it to be played, right? You know what I mean? Like, it's try and go with his new game plan with a new player who's going to listen and just do exactly what he's told.
Well, this is the thing. They need a foundation to build upon Astralis. That's one thing they haven't been able to fall back on. Device, very aggressive, does catch Smiths off. Watch the repeat potential from lower, and Scream's not going to go. He doesn't know who else or what else is waiting on the inside of the mid doors, and it's Kierby that is rotating back out from B that could have caught him off with that M4. So a very aggressive pick from Device early. We'll give them the man advantage to work with. Shock's going to walk out the AWP. Smoke already on CT side means he can focus toward B window, and Kierby. Hold up, my friend. You don't have any information. Jump peek. He'll know they're there now, surely. As such, the flash comes out and he wants to reposition, but that AWP.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he definitely got back to position faster than he was expecting.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, still a man advantage here for the CTs. It looks like it will be some sort of B play coming in eventually. RPK waiting in the tunnels, his teammates focusing towards mid. Still 50 seconds to work with as well. Shocks with the AWP this time, as Smiths has fallen. They do like to walk in towards B. Contact play is definitely something that they're known for. But Dupree in a decent position for defense, and KRB will be baiting him as well. So they've got a nice setup to lock it down at least to get the initial trades needed. Molotov, though, if they Molotov defense, that's a problem. It doesn't look like it'll be coming in.
Shot for the body at mid to catch off Zipics in rotation. Kierby does hold true. Dupree pops, but early enough. Shock's able to respond, bomb down mouth of the tunnel. Yeah. A 3 versus 2. Like you say, this is a full reset, or rather, excuse me, loss bonus in favor of Astralis. Took his teammate there. Shocks will get him. So I was going to say, they need to keep all 3 alive. They go down to 2 in the end, but they just get to the AWP. So, they didn't like to pick it up. It was actually Device that ran over to it, so he couldn't pick it up. He already had the other one. Yeah, right. I was thinking if they'd at least get the economy in that sense. But, again, we talked about this. They don't really have a consistent first stopper. Kerrigan's normally your second. Who's going to use it?
The problem is, yes, they win the round, but this is a scary position to be in now. You can see Body, he's really in quite nicely. He had the money to get the AK out, but he's kind of predicting they would have head up, and it's not the case. Dupree's the only player about it. So he gets the MAC-10, and it will be just a straight-up B rush here by the looks of things. RPK leading the charge, decent flashbangs as well, but it's Dupree to find the first kill, but that MAC-10 comes up trumps, and it's going to be Body finding a return. Kiabi, though, still fighting back. They haven't got control of the B side, but they have got the advantage in terms of the manpower.
Scream's going to go for the plant. Concede the site. 4 versus 3. They have the man advantage still to work with, though. Shot up. That needs to hit. Device missing Smiths with the Molotov in, and everything was perfect for him, and he still couldn't land it. Big problem. They hit that. They take it down to a 4 versus 2. They can charge in the site with manpower, but now it's going to be Notan that's got to try and find a shot toward range with the UMP. He can't hold it off. Kirby at least does get body, trading him as he gets through the door to get aggressive. That's going to leave Smiths in the open, but Scream's still in this. He's going to try and pull this back all on his own. 1 versus 2, low HP, bomb planted default. He's going to try and get through the smoke, but he's caught out. Nearly gets the shot regardless on the Device. And have they got time?
Yeah, got up.
All right, Henry. I'll believe you.
I'm always right, Matt. You know that. It was very close, yeah. It was touch and go, especially if it was planted as well. Not in the default position. That was about maybe a quarter of a second remaining, but I was always confident. I always thought it was going to be fine. Still, they're grinding down the city economy. Still going to be reinvesting into this. It's going to be G2 with an AWP themselves, 4 AKs. And yeah, a touch and go round there with G2 opting for that initial rush. But like I said, Astralis getting that initial trade and the man advantage in their favor was difficult. Definitely wasn't clean cut, but they managed to win the round. It's going to be 5-2 here. Still in danger of getting reset after they have to fully invest back into the round. It's going to be 5-2 here. And damage done towards Shocks. Once again, trying to work towards long, but getting their HEs towards face. And now CTs with Device towards short this time. Kind of changing things up. That's what he's known for on Dust2 especially. Having that aggressive, dynamic play.
Device getting ready to hold off top middle as well on a peak. Let's wait for the smoke, though, and inside of the smoke, Scream comes through. Device goes down.
He does that nice little jump on the corner of the Xbox there and just gets through the smoke. Didn't see it coming. Nice way to open things up.
Zipics now sitting passive on the ramp as well. He's going to try and pull Notan back down with him. Both going to play from the ramp, so double peak potential, but they've got to be swift on it. He misses the first shot. Notan immediately goes down to Scream. Molotov for Zipics to try and get through, but he's burning alive. He only manages 1. Still, though, they managed to trade it equal. Will give up the A site in doing so. Bomb to be planted safely for Body. It does go corner, so it can be covered from Cat, but more importantly, also seen from long. They don't like to go that direction, and they're going to split the CTs.
This kill decides it, raise it.
That's it, yeah, especially going towards CT. Kirby doesn't have an angle to walk out from. They'll look toward Cat first off, but yeah, he's going to wait for exits, and that's smart. Body. He'll have to cross this because he'll anticipate toward Cat potentially, but even then, Kirby, he doesn't even look like he wants to sit around and wait for the angle.
Indeed. Well, yeah, like I said, dupreeh, the only player can make something happen there over his teammate in CT spawn, and he gets shut down by the Shox AWP, and it's another default coming in from G2, that nice little jump from Shox, from Scream, sorry, towards the Xbox, finds the aggressive play from Device, the round falls apart, Zipex doing what he can. It was an equal exchange when the bomb was down. They had so much time to work with, a nice plan. Smoke's being dropped towards short as well. They had to fall back, readjust themselves, and Kiabi won't be able to win the round this time. That is the reset now for the CTs. Yes, he saves an AK. What was that? Okay, yeah, so he saved the AK, but they are going to force into this one. He drops a Famus over. dupreeh buys a UMP. Now, two of them as Zipex gets one as well. I think one dig, sticking to the name map, of course. He only has the deagle, but we know that's fine for him. He's confident. So confident he's called his name one dig.
One dig. We'll see if it works. Flashes off toward long. He doesn't even get to the corner to peak doors, so RPK. Freedom of passage toward the dumpster. Nice. Just gonna try and, yeah, that's never gonna work without a flash. Hold that right side wall toward the stairs. It is gonna be no TAM with one on the deagle. It was a one dig as well, but then he missed all the rest. So unfortunately gone he goes. It shall be 6-2, make it 7-2 potentially. Yeah, it will be. Kirby's gone.
Yeah, and they're going to have to be almost certainly the next round. Kiabi trying to save the AK now. A nice little fast A attack there. Smokes towards mid, getting up towards short fast as well. They know they've got a huge advantage in terms of the money. Hitting the shots required, Shox and Body. Body, a player that definitely has to be given credit recently. And in terms of where the team has been slacking, he's been certainly filling his role very nicely. And the games they have been winning have been very influential indeed. It will be Kiabi saving towards T-spawn now. The terrorists can definitely justify the hunt. You can see two coming from spawn as well, and two pressing towards B. So he'll probably be going down this point. This flashbang will give his position away. And at this point, they don't find anything from this. They know where he is, and they've got time to find him.
Time, but still can't land the shots. The deathmatch angle. Body's gonna take Kirby down. You play Frag Shack, you always spawn in that corner.
Yeah, with the spawn protection. The
no spawn protection in Frag Shack.
No, good. I hate
brutal.
It. I hate
no, but it's the worst spot to spawn is when you're beside the stairs on Catwalk, because all you have to do to trigger the spawn is walk up to the third step. So people just walk up, turn and kill you, walk up, turn and kill you, walk up. It's like, come on.
Well, full eco now for Astralis. This is a certain round for G2, and Device getting taken through the door. That certainly doesn't help. They haven't invested a single penny into this one. And another shot as Kiabi feels a bullet through the door as well. And will be Shox now with the Mac-10, trying to farm some cash here with the SMG. Nice little flash there. I like that a lot. You can see two natural CTs. He's got himself in a bit of trouble. He's been struggling towards long, to be fair. Taking damage now. This could be a bit tricky for him. Three players towards and challenging him.
Nice shot from Body outdoor. Just Kirby on the scaffolding. dupreeh, though. Getting one shot back. He's going to try and pop out now to give Device a chance. He's yet to go down. They know where he is behind the box. 40 HP, no armor. And RPK will quickly assassinate him as he's walked in from... Get out of the way. From the tunnels.
Well, there it is. Astralis there with the full eco. Got 2 kills out of it, to be fair. That's probably about as good as it's ever going to get. So not too bad. There'll be a third stage loss bonus next round. So $2,400. They've got about an average of 2,200. So yeah, their buy will be coming in. There might be a potential for robbing. dupreeh's got 2,750. Yes, they can get an AWP. It won't be the best buy overall. I think with Device, you probably want to get that in though. See what you can do with it. Maybe allow him to go towards B, hold it by himself. We'll see what they decide to do. The money does come in. And like I said, dupreeh, the only one who can drop over an AWP. What did he do it though? Yep, there it is. The dupreeh throwing that over to Device. Like I said, I think the best bet here, send him towards back of B, let him play there by himself, have a focus towards A, take a bit of a gamble. We'll see what they decide to do here. Maybe on the spawn as well, Device could go towards long. We'll see what he opts to do to enter round number 11. GT starting to run away with this a bit now.
Speaking of ops to do, the to-do list for Smith is to take down anyone going B. For some reason, I thought he was going to pull the trigger there. X-Ray is so misleading. Shox does get forced in by this Molotov. Lineup exists, though. It's going to be no TAM with the kill instead. It's a little bit over-aggressive and zealous from Shox to go all by himself.
He's been doing that a few times this game. No need to do that whatsoever. It's such a high-risk maneuver. If you go down, the rounds...
He wants to challenge the young buck.
He does. He may be sending out a message trying to wreck his confidence, you know.
Well, Device. It's out of the middle with the AWP. You're right, though. Shox has gotten aggressive there a few times.
Yeah. If he had, like, he obviously gets flashed in the start, but then he's refacing. And you can see Body now trying to find the fragment return. He knows 1D gets low. He receives a headshot for his troubles. Does find the kill.
Good swift reaction at least, but it's going to be an AWP. It will make a difference about that HP.
Oh, so unlucky.
Yep, the timing's so off. Shot selection doesn't work out for Device. 4 HP through the box. Scream's going to take advantage. Round gone. This is going to be a hard ask, and yeah, they're already saving, I believe. Kirby could rotate over. 53 seconds left to work with, but he's in T-spawn and that far away from it. As soon as bomb goes down, yeah, dupreeh holding up. They're just going to look for the exit kills where available. Starting off, well, Notan Shocks pretty much gave himself away to him, but unfortunately, and then the Dink as well, unfortunately, they couldn't capitalize further.
Well, 2 weapons being saved here for Astralis. Quite a simple approach from G2 once again. They know they've got such an advantage. The setup's not going to be perfect for Astralis. I'm not sure how much time they've had to practice. I would say none at all. These guys, Astralis, come straight from Ukraine, had a horrible tournament there, didn't make the final 8, which is the only real objective there. We kind of discussed this quite a lot there. It was a weird tournament in that sense. If you got top 8, that's all you really wanted to do, was a qualifier for the finals in December. Astralis not doing that. That's what kind of initiated this change. I think if they got top 8, they probably would have slogged it out till that event and see what happened at that point, but they didn't do it once again.
Wow, that's the thing, though. The schedule is so busy that you stick it at the top 8 at this event, then you're in the E-League. Did he just spray to give himself away?
The thing is, though, they're going to E-League, right, but this guy's only 16. He can't even go to E-League with them.
Yeah, that's true.
So...
Well, no, and that's, again, he's a placeholder. I'm not looking at Notan to be anything on this roster. He's definitely a placeholder in this sense. Again, whether they want to try something new, bring Kerrigan back if they can't get Glaive.
Even if he's a placeholder, right? Like, even if he's someone he comes in and like, he performs amazingly, he can't get Glaive in time, surely you want someone who's even eligible for the league.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yep.
That's why I find it a bit strange. But, you know, like you said, it's obviously a placeholder where they're working things out. But Shox gifted a chance. Shox isn't really firing on all cylinders tonight, it seems. Like, those are the shots we expect him to nail. Like, God Shoxy, Shoxy Jesus, whatever you want to call him. Normally would be wrecking those opportunities, but he's a little bit poor today. But Kiabi, he's firing back. They have got 2 M4s to work with here. It's going to be in the hands of dupreeh as well, as he's working towards the city spawn area with his teammate. They're doing a lot of damage, but only finding 1 kill so far, and another close exchange, and a little bit of lag, but we're fine. We're back. It's okay.
Lag's not a big deal.
No, we can handle lag.
But if the server gets ARM, that's when we got a problem.
Yeah.
Dad jokes are the best jokes. Kirby going to take down RPK. Plays just 3, still favor of Astralis.
I like when I met your dad. He's actually doing the classic dad jokes.
Oh, no, he is.
Yeah,
he's brutal, man. It's so bad. Dinner table talk is like, God, yeah, you can see where I get it.
Yeah.
Smiths. Can't wait to walk back out. It could be a crosshair placement perfectly for that AWP, but they still need to go across with bomb. Double smoke to do so. Flash as well. Spray to come through. It's Notan that's got prime position to try and shut this down. Waiting behind the box. Deagle up. And it's not the 1 dig we were looking for. Shock's going to get... Oh, and Smith's on dupreeh. A 4 versus 3 down to a 3 versus 2 in the post plant. Kirby smoked off. Can only go so far. Wide boost to try and see above onto the site. And Shox is waiting for that. It's gone again for Astralis.
Just Device now. He picks up an M4, but retreating. Shoxy looking to improve on the form we've seen so far. Managed to get the last 2 kills there. 10-2. I'm not sure how much Astralis invested into that round. I think they saved a rifle and maybe had enough to force 1 in. Maybe they saved 2. I can't really remember. I'm tired, Matt. It's going to be round number 13. They do have money to buy into this one. Still, Maximum Loss Managed comes in once again after finding the 2 rounds there in the mid stage. They have been having a very tough trek here. It's Dust2 twice, remember, as well. So we're going to learn a lot from the first showing. Still a chance to learn and fall back and, you know, maybe have another go at it. So it's fine. I still could get 1-1 here. I could still get 2-0, to be fair. Maybe I'm going to get ahead of myself.
Interesting that Smith says the ESL Pro League. Usually that badge is applied because I think they're done through the client. That badge is applied when someone's not actually part of the roster. Reddit detectives.
Be like?
I knew you were going to say that. I was going to, actually. Hence why Notan has it, by way of example.
Exactly. Well then. We're going to another default here. No real fast play here, but you can see the G2 have got controllers short as well. We've always talked about how deadly they are in their executions of Device, not catching the player jumping down to spawn. They actually has no idea that's happened. So that information hasn't been given to his teammates. At this point, Body said, right, I've got in an absolutely amazing position here, but it doesn't matter. Device finding a frag towards long. Still doesn't know the players in CD spawn. This could still unravel for them. This is good. They're going to do a B split with Body in this position.
Yep.
He can completely shut them down.
Yep, that's so big. All he does is just sit and wait, and anyone that dare walk by. G2's got somewhere. Again, they're a man down. Every time they've been a man down, they've had map control to work with. So Astralis, we said, oh, they're in a good position. They're really not. Same as last round. As soon as they smoked across and got in the site, they had no one to cover it off.
G2 were hoping that would beat out a player towards CD spawn. They weren't even committing at that point. They were hoping someone would just walk into his crosshair, give them the man advantage back. well, or equalize it. Here we go. Trying once again. That's a really poor smoke towards City Spawn. Device can actually do a lot with that. As he does spot Smith, pulls the nade at the wrong time.
Exactly. That Kiri's able to fall back down inside the window because the Molotov was up, so no off shot into him. Nearly misses out. Goes to the reload, oddly enough, because the AK fell immediately onto him. Could have swapped it over fast. And it's going to be RPK to capitalize with 2 kills, in fact. Both of them through the boxes. So bomb gets planted. Body, he's since perished, but it leaves Xyp9x to try and walk in through the tunnels. RPK is going to cover off door/window, depending on how Notan wants to go in. AWP tags up, oddly enough, but doesn't get the kill. It's RPK that does. Looks like it was dead on, and Notan can do nothing as he gets inside the site. 10-2, as G2 just commanding it. Again, they go from a man down to a winning situation.
At this point, Astralis are so deep into this game. It's 11-2. The money's not really there, but they need to get more rounds in this. They're going to have to force, unfortunately for them, 4 Famises, no kits, only 2 smokes, 1 M4. Someone needs to be pushing up a B. Oh, the auto sniper's out. Does damage, doesn't find a kill, though. That's sending out a lot of messages, though. Smith's, he hasn't been fragging amazing. He's on 4 for 5, but his teammates are doing all the work here. And it's 11, so we can't really argue anything here. And RPK trying to take advantage of potentially low HP players here. But it's 1D. Once again, Shox by himself with the long doors. How many times is he going to die in that scenario? They'll still probably win the round considering the circumstance, but still, you feel like he's almost gifting a kill at the start of each round, giving them a little bit of a handicap advantage.
Body. He's going to try and walk back out. It's Notan to change his angle. He's been playing pit so consistently, and Body's never going to know it. Oh my, that's a little bit of nerve for the young guy. That'll get onto him.
I missed that. How bad was it?
It was pretty bad.
Was it?
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Okay, I was looking at the other screen.
He had it dead to rights. It looked like he was going to go trigger discipline, and then he elected to shoot from Moss, went a little everywhere, as 16-year-olds tend to do. And unfortunately, the thing is, if it's, an experienced player, they'll brush that off and say, okay, bad luck. But he's got to be nervous coming into Astralis, especially as a Dane who's played, not really top tier or on a top tier Danish team. It's a chance for him to prove himself, whether or not he knows he's on the roster full time, or he's just a stand-in, as we expect he is.
Oh, Body makes some footstep there. That was a chance to actually get the drop on Xyp9x there, but now he has to fall back. Missing the jump and divides. This kill is crucial. Can't pull the trigger just right. And Body, surely he's killing himself there at that point. Yeah, he goes down. Still, though, a heavy advantage I'd give to G2. So no kits, only 1 Molotov to play with in the AWP in the hands of Smiths. Oh, another miss smoke here. This is the round of whiffs, it seems.
Yep. But yeah, that'll get on his nerves a little bit. Smith's waiting, trying to hit the shot inside the Molotov. Finally, it works. His device on the rifle this time. Remember, he missed that off shot early on.
They got around her.
And RPK tries to bait back in toward that player fading away. Still got it. You say he's got around. And RPK finds them both. This is bad to worse for Astralis.
That should have been the round at that point with the missed smoke and then not finding that kill by the doors. I thought that was it. Round over. Astralis have arrived with the Famises. But unfortunately, 12-2 comes in. I really did think that was a chance there, especially when Body messed up the drop. Well, last round comes in. Once again, have to buy 3 Famises and MP7. And an M4 for Kiabi. The auto sniper's back out. It's going to be 3, making 4 sniper rifles, kick things off. Not much damage inflicted, though. And they may go towards B again, thinking they've done more damage than they actually have. But it's Shox, though. Does he want to die once more? Let's find out. Yes, he does.
That time he hits it. MP7.
Every time it feels like Shox is dying there. But, still fine. It's 12-2. Can't really read too much into it, I guess.
Scream. Double set of door here. Could bait in for device. They're going to go Xbox. Spot shadow on the wall or just the knee coming forward? I don't think there's enough of a shadow. It's a soft shadow there. So Scream gets the kill. Able to jump back up. Now start to get in toward the A site. Forward stance right now. I'm not sure who's up leading the way. Oh, well, there we see it now. We switch angles. It's Body.
It is Body.
There's a Body up there leading the way.
They've got enough to actually execute on the side. Initial smoke comes in. Xyp9x flashed off his goal. He's by the barrels. Dead now. There's literally nothing you can really do. You've got no nades. You've got nothing really to work. You need to find a kill. Getting flashed to hell. 1 dig there, have a chance to find a kill, but can't actually get it as he's fully flashed as well. Could get his kill on screen though. Be a chance to get into it.
That's a good shot from Notan. He's giving them a chance. Body's going to go for the plant, which means he just has to isolate Scream. He's trying to hit the shot, tap, trigger discipline, but fades away as smoke dissipating and bomb planted. It's going to be device to come in on top of it, and it works because he finds Body.
There we go.
And Dupree gets Smiths. Yay! Celebrate. All of them do a dance.
Well, there it is. Shox giving his frag off a free once again. Finally, they're punished for it. It was a weak buy from Astralis, but he managed to get 12-3. Difficult to really see much of this. Obviously, sorry. I'm sick of them, I think. Obviously,
Dude,
the first showing from 1D.
Sick. Don't worry, it's fine.
The first showing from 1D, it's obvious that they're having a bit of trouble here. All the clutches they should be winning, falling away for them.
You're just calling him 1D straight up.
Well, one tan, one dig is a bit of an. What do you want to call him? No tan or
I call him no
I like
tan.
one dig. I think that sounds.
I like no
got a
tan
cool
because it
ring to
reminds me of Freakazoid.
It was 12-3. G2 probably going to win his first one. We do have 2 showings of Dust2 here, so hopefully it gets better and better as we go on. So we'll take a quick break right now, but don't go anywhere. We want to see if this can improve.
What? We knew it was going to be a rough night for Astralis.
Yeah.
Benching Kerrigan, Zonic apparently the one to make the call, and they bring in a young buck that no one knows anything about. So, and they're
true.
playing G2 twice on Dust2, which is a hard map to play them even when you have your full roster.
Pretty horrible recipe altogether, isn't it? But 12-3, it's Pro League map, and you know what that means.
Yeah, it's going to end 16-14 in favor of Astralis.
No, probably G2. That's what normally happens. Like, they come back for so long. And
We've seen some wins. Okay, we've seen it both ways. You're right.
Yeah, it normally ends up that the team's got a huge lead. They lose a pistol, and then Astralis will get right back into it, make it a decent game, but overall, it'll be G2 winning. I wouldn't mind that happens. I want to see more from the new guy, see what he brings to the table here. But the pistol definitely required as we go into the CT side here. We have to say that G2 normally do struggle on their CT sides overall. That's a bit of a common trend, it seems, these days. As we get into it now, we'll have a look at the buy for the T's. There's going to be 3 sets of armor for them. And there he is. No Town 1 Deeg. He brings in with the same buy. Just Kiabi with the Deagle. So, what's the play from G2 there? 3 towards A, pretty default for now. No one really giving me anything to work with. The start will be default from both sides.
Scream. Do you know that Scream is Moses' favorite player?
Is he really?
Yeah, it has Cream in the name.
Ah, of course.
Scream headshot placement was potentially there, but doesn't land. The shot falls back as well. Shox is pushed up, so they could support off each other, but it's awkward angles to try and hold if anyone gets toward the top mid, and a brawl ensues. Rotation back.
Well, looks like they'll be going for a long take here. Quite a common strategy these days, normally done a little bit faster. Smiths and RPK, they had to lock it down. There's a headshot received by RPK, but at this point, you might as well commit. Shox chimes in. It's going to be a 5-on-2. Just 1 Deeg and Device remaining. And Scream, he's towards up the middle, trying to lock them in as well, but they have done a ton of damage here. It might not be completely game over. Let's head towards T-spawn. Device trying to find these OHP players. He goes aggressive here, but now in a horrible position. The Glock versus USP at that range. Apparently, the Glock is better, you know? It's fine.
Glock is absolutely better. The nade's the best, though.
That is the best.
That is absolutely. It's going to be No10, the last alive this time. Scream and RPK extremely low. Chance to try and get 2 kills quickly from them. Wants the USB instead to do so. Can't blame him. Now he's got the range game advantage, and Scream on top of the site. Immediate headshot. Wouldn't have mattered. Drops down as well. He wants to get aggressive. Has the bomb, but just checks to see if anyone's close by. Quick peek at long. They are rotating onto Cat, though. 3 of them there. So as soon as he gets on, 18 seconds, he's going to hold this, and they're going to get wide. On toward Gandalf. RPK just nails him.
Well, he gets a bomb down. He finds a kill as well. So pretty much the only thing that could have worked out for him there. He wasn't going to win the run that scenario, 1 versus 4, but that's probably about as good as it's going to get. So not too bad at all. So there it is. They didn't win the pistol, but still, they could buy up into the second round. We saw Mousesports do it before on train. They got kills to work with, so they could buy 2 AKs if they were going to do it, so they are going to be forcing it. At this stage, probably 1-2. 1 AK comes out, he dropped it towards Device. It was one dig giving it to the headline act of Astralis there. 13-3, they need this ready. You can see not a single rifle purchased for G2. Okay, there's one, and M4 towards the end. 3 UMPs though. There's a chance that Astralis can do something at this round. It's Kiabi actually finishing off the AK. And he'll be working towards long to kick things off here, but smoked out Molotov. And Shock's getting quite aggressive here. He's struggling towards long though. Maybe Kiabi can find his first kill, which he does.
2 lovely shots from him on that AK-47. The AK gone. It's going to be re-grabbed by Zipex. They're going to push in, and Zipex like to keep the Tech 9 out for the sake of a duel. And Smiths is caught in a very awkward position with that scout.
Yeah, so they might win the pistol, but this round is going to fall away from G2, it seems. And it was that 1 AK that finds the first 2 kills, and then Zipex, he gets 2 himself. There's 1 player remaining, and a headshot through the door. It's going to be Dupree trying to finish things off with the Deagle, which he does. So here we go then. We have something to talk about as Astralis do come back in the second. It's becoming more and more common this second round force buy. Normally the CTs will be focusing more on SMGs and utility, trying to hold off and wait for the third round to come in. But if you can surprise them, have one of your star players pick up that AK and use a decent support and try and find that first pick, can be the way to get back into these sort of situations. When there's going to be a force buy, which is interesting for GT. Don't really need to do that, considering they know up against the AKs now. Long take coming in from Astralis should be quite an easy procedure for them. Decent nade towards corner as well.
Decent lead indeed, but it's going to be the guns instead to come around and find kills. In fact, G2, 2 pistols, maybe a third, runs out of ammo. Smiths, as he has No10 down very low. Nade's going to get lobbed his direction, and it'll be Kirby to make up for lost ground, taking both Smiths and Shocks. And he'll be the first to pedal forward toward the CT position, the CT crossover. He's waiting with the UMP. It's no smoke though, it's just flashes. Nearly a lineup. Bomb's gonna get dropped, low HP on No10. He's gotta be careful not to re-peek it out, and they're all low. It's gonna be Body because of it with 2 quick shots.
These rounds are a little bit sloppy, it's a little bit messy, but G2 do come in towards the end there. 2 versus 1, both players low HP, and Body getting the spray down with the Deagle. It's going to be 14-4. Obviously, Astralis have to revest in this round. The money's not in a horrible position. They managed to get 3 AKs out, but the AWP is in the hand of Smiths. And this could be the chance to close it out. They win this round. It's pretty much GG at that point. And it's going to be 14-4, and a player down suicide as well. Smiths does land the shot, but can't find the kill. Aggressive from the French here.
Very aggressive Scream. Gonna get 1 onto Kirby Dupree, though. He's there. Astralis again putting up a fight. Dink from far. RPK goes low. Everyone's back and forth in the entirety of the game, but it is going to be the Youngblood up against 3. He's got an AK to grab.
Yeah, so CT's hyper aggressive this round. Equal exchanges to kick things off, but it is kept pushing towards mid, relentless, as RPK looking to potentially throw his kill away there.
His aim's not bad, you know.
He's a young gun, isn't he?
He's a young gun, but
they didn't bring him in for no reason.
I mean, obviously, but yeah. I'm just saying, no one has any expectations.
Yeah.
And he's got worse stats than Chad, so I didn't expect anything either.
I don't know. I expected him to be like a good player in that sense. They'd be able to get some snappy shots in, look a bit hungry, trying to surprise some people, you know. It's difficult to perform at a crazy level when you're getting bashed 15-4. But yeah, I agree. He has shown some impressive flick shots and little shots here and there, but we'll see what happens. Last round potentially here, it's just pistols for Astralis, Tech 9s and Deagles. They have a few smokes to work with, primarily focused towards the B tunnels. The bombs outside long though. How do they stay alive in this one? It's going to be a tall order, to say the least.
Smoke thrown. AK at the ready for RPK, M4 for Body. Map point, or should we call it halftime point, Henry?
I guess we should.
It's halftime point. 2 Dust2s back to back, but they all count. In terms of the season, which we're getting closer to the end of, 2 more nights.
Indeed.
And then we know who's going to Brazil. I can tell you who's probably not. Body. He's going to take down Dupree. I didn't mean Body's probably not, by the way. RPK going to find Device and Shocks waiting toward Elevator. Going to jump back up toward the boxes and just wait for the smoke because he wants someone to drop down. They aren't electing to do so. They want to wrap, and it's going to be Smiths with the first shot. Can't find the second as he backpedals. RPK tripped him up a little bit. Ended up going down himself, but it is Smiths to close it out. That's going to be the game. But we're just getting started on Dust2, Henry.
We are just getting started here. It's 2 showings of Dust2. We did say G2 should be running away with this one, which they obviously do. What, 16-4, 16-5 in the end. And yeah, no one really got going for Astralis there. We saw some interesting rounds on the first half there, but obviously it was on the back foot in terms of the economy. Shocks giving his kill away a lot of time, not long. Some chances to work with there, but very one-sided affair. Let's hope they can bounce back on the second showing of Dust2. Guys on the desk, what did you think?
I think that could have been a little bit of a longer game. I'd have liked to have seen more from Astralis and Mr. Wondig.
Would you really have liked to have seen a longer game in that situation? Because I definitely wouldn't have.
Why is that?
Because this is I think Astralis need a new player to kind of revitalize themselves. They've kind of grabbed a kid and gone, we can't get anybody of value at this point in time. We'll get this kid, we'll give him a chance. We'll see, throw him basically into the fire, let him play with the best players and teams in the world. Really, it's like a good Samaritan thing, right?
Yeah.
They're not, for me, it sucks that they have to think like this, but they're basically throwing away their season of EPL. They're going to still, maintain a spot and they'll be able to play next season. That's fine. But this is the end of the road for them.
They know they can't do Brazil.
You're just looking at what happened there. Like the disrespect coming in from G2. Not when I say disrespect, I don't mean in the sense of like, oh, we think you guys suck. It's in the sense of like, I mean like cutthroat Counter-Strike. Like you're just playing to just demoralize them and run away with it.
Shocks running out along relentlessly, just taking fights he wouldn't normally.
They were winning 4v5 situations constantly. And Notan, he wasn't doing bad. They put him in a position that Carrigan plays normally towards long. He just has to hold the long doors. He's killing Shocks every now and again, but for the players to get invested in this behind a guy that they know is temporary and they know this is all unfolding and stuff, it's not going to happen. The team is basically, they were tweeting that they're in crisis and stuff. I saw a tweet from Zonic. It's all falling apart for them right now. They're in a phase where it just needs to end. Then they can rebuild and go from there. This is just seeing out the rest of the season in the next 3 days.
Yeah, there's no doubt. And it is tough to watch this kind of disintegration of what we know Astralis to be. And so they're going to have to do it again, as if that wasn't enough.
Yeah, you couldn't pick a worse map to play people like Shocks and Scream on, and this is a good map for Smiths as well. Yeah. So they're just going to rip them apart again. Unfortunately, it'll probably be a lot of the same.
Yeah. Stuff to highlight though would be Device is known to be one of the best AWPers on Dust2. In fact,
it's really hard though to be an AWPer when so let's say Notan's playing long. Even if he's grabbing a frag, he doesn't know how to assist in the normal ways that they normally would. On the T side, Carrigan's normally the in-game leader, probably quite instrumental in strategies in terms of throwing flashes, smokes and stuff like that. So they're not going to bother teaching him any of that stuff. They just have to use whatever they can, very basic Counter-Strike. So there's nothing really positive to look at from the side of Astralis. The only thing we can look at here is it's not free wins, but G2 should take this 2-0. And that means if they can take this 2-0 and then they go up against VP and then they can take that 2-0, they're going to give themselves, I think they'll go up to 14 wins, which could just be on the cusp. They might be able to get there. Right. Makes the end of the season more exciting for G2. It sucks for Astralis, but that's blunt. And I'm sorry I'm being blunt.
It was an inevitability. There's no doubt about it. But that was a rather brutal scoreline, 16-4. But very much more positive, the score. App, check it out. Google Play and iOS. Just a really awful segue. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
Really not feeling
No, it's a good app. People should download it.
You should. I've actually got it.
If you've already got it and you hear us constantly talking about it, check the App Store or the Google thingy for updates.
You really should. It's got news as well as your stats. You can actually go see how Mr. Wondig, the new blood on Astralis, did do pretty good. Above, I think, Dupree and Zipniks at the end of it.
Well,
17 frags or something?
He wasn't doing, I don't think it was that many.
It was.
Was it that many?
Yeah.
He got 17 kills.
Yeah. So look at your doubt. You can find the answer on the Score Esports application. We'll be back after the break with the second Dust2.
JKS with the Molotov out, trying to hold on to this one, but the walls are slowly collapsing around him here. His house is burning, and he's going to have to try to hold on to this one. They're giving him a lot of time, though, to renegotiate his position. First, second kill, the third one as well, and JKS destroys CLG.
Tucked up in the smoke, but he's the one to pick up the frag, and Hellraisers are going to be picking this one up unless Sixer does something mad, and that's certainly mad enough, too. Ooh. And he's allowed to escape. 23 points of health. He's got a kit, he's got it as well. Sticko falls. Nice work from Zero as well. Kenny catches Zero on the peek out, though, and a second from Kenny. Spicy from the Frenchman. Now it's a 1v1. Surely you don't take the fight with an AWP. Angel does. Balls of steel. And now Kenny chooses to peek out on the back of his flash and unable to cross as well. Angel fluffing a little bit, but going close. That's exactly what you need to do, Kenny! It's the ugliest orb skin in the game. Phobos, whatever it's called. Apex, though, has pushed up aggressively. This is stark contrast to what we saw from him previously, just hanging around Minion. Oh, this is so smart. He heard footsteps, and he's going to have all backs turned. It's an absolute slaughter. 3 in quick succession. There has been a bit of a slowdown, and here he is again. He's to hit the second. You better believe he will. Now a third. Twist is going to take the fight, and he hits it as well. Kenny is just raining down terror. 2 more to find, and they're cowering in drop room, fearing what he could do with his Zoom banger. Finds a little bit of a respite for a moment. This could be a full ace. Kenny is going absolutely nuts.